Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Silver Rush podcast. The schedule has officially been released, and we have a lot to talk about today. Mitch, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited now that we can finally plan out our fall trips to, my wife and I's fall trips to Detroit, get to pick our away game. I love the schedule release. It's like Christmas almost when the schedule
hmm
comes out. So what are your initial reactions to it? At least when you first saw it, the first few games that stuck out. Obviously, I think we all know the big one here, but just go through kind of the first game or two that when you were looking through it that really stuck out to you.
Yeah, obviously the opener. Like we are a team that's a money making team now. For the NFL.
Yep,
Like they're like, let's put these guys on prime time. They are prime time opening against the Super Bowl champs. As long as I've been a fan, we've never got that.
we've never
So
come close to that. I mean, I think
no.
it shows how what the direction of this team. I mean, as
hmm
Dan Campbell's
And the
always
NFL
going.
believes in it.
Dan
Yeah.
Campbell's always doing is you always see those gifs online of that or
Yeah.
GIF, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the team's
Whatever it is.
popularity is going up. Everyone's excited. I mean, it's awesome, and it speaks volume to where this team is at and where it's headed.
Yeah. That's gonna be a crazy fun game. Opening game. I thought maybe we'd get the Chiefs because I know we were one of the options. Obviously because we play them, and then when obviously there's a bunch of good options they could have, but I know they wanted to wait for Philly. They wanted to wait for I think it was Cincinnati too. I felt like those games they want to play later in the season, but they want to have a good opening game. It's the opening game for the NFL. It's a big deal,
Yeah,
and so the Lions were a perfect one. I know there was some Bears fans out there would be on it. Look, no,
no
y'all
one
ain't
wants to
y'all ain't
watch Bustin Fields run
right.
around and
Nobody.
get beat by 40 points.
They are getting so much hype, and we'll talk about that in one episode, I'm sure. But it's crazy. But no, yeah,
It's just awesome. The only thing I'm a little bit sad of is I do love the first Sunday of the year, waking up and knowing you like
yeah,
that's the only thing that kind of sucks. But it's
right,
exciting knowing they're gonna be the team to start the year off against Super Bowl champs, and
right.
so they're hi, and so they're gonna have. I mean, the Lions are gonna play back to back opening days, back to back years.
Yeah,
If you get what I'm saying there.
yeah,
They'll be playing at Ford Field next year, though. So,
yeah,
but no, it is super exciting. I was happy when I saw it, and it's kind of a win-win too because if the Lions come out and win, it's like oh
yeah.
shit. But they have no expectations really to win the game. So if they lose, it's kind of like
No,
well, you lost to the Super Bowl
you lost to the
champs
Chiefs. Yeah,
at Arrowhead. The only way that it'll be bad is if they lose by like 20 points or something like that. But
right.
I'm confident in the team that even if they wouldn't win this, that they're going to put up a fight and it'll be a one-score game for sure. But just it
hmm
was awesome seeing that as the opening game.
Yeah, yeah. That was. It's an exciting game. Last time Jared Goff played Patrick Mahomes on prime time was insane. That's hopefully. Well, I mean, hopefully we get that if we don't. Like, I don't really want our defense to get cooked like that,
No,
but if they do, it's the Chiefs. But I want our offense to cook like that for sure. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a close game, and I'm excited for that game. It's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
oh yeah,
I'm definitely making sure we both making sure we ain't go. Oh wait, you don't work you don't work nights anyways.
oh yeah.
Well, I do, but
I was gonna
I'm making
say
sure I ain't going.
from the time I'm off
Not missing
work
that.
till it's mentally preparing. Honestly, I
Yeah,
should just take the day off because I know I'm not gonna focus all day. But
I know. That's what I'm gonna do. Well, I have to do it because
you
obviously,
work
or I'll
nights,
miss it, and
yeah.
I'm not missing it. Not happening. Sorry, Chrysler. Not happening.
Yep, yeah. You tell Chrysler.
But
You let him
hell
know
yeah, gotta stand up for what's right. And what's right
exactly.
is watching Lions
Right.
games
It should be an annual. It should be the whole city of Detroit should just be off on Thursday.
off. That seems fair to me. But another game, because we got a couple prime times,
Yep.
and here I'm a little greedy because I wanted one more at home, and I'm kind of pissed that Green Bay got more than us.
Yeah.
But it's because of their brand, their name, not because of their season or what they're
What they're
expected to do.
expected. Yep.
So it's because of the name, and I understand that it is what it is. But we potentially could have because we got four prime times. We got Thanksgiving, obviously, and we potentially could have two more. Because
The Broncos is a
the
TBD.
Broncos at home
And
and the Vikings at
the
home.
Vikings. Yeah. I mean, hopefully by the
So
time they play the Vikings week 18,
Yeah.
It's the division's all set. We're going to Ford Field
Yeah.
to celebrate, and there's no worry about
Right.
anything. Maybe get a
As much it'd be fun to play for the division, it'd be I don't know, going to that game stress free when we already got the division wrapped up would be pretty special
yep,
too. So
exactly.
I'm hoping for that too. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm excited. I think I'm excited for that Raiders game
I was
because
gonna
that's prime
say,
time Monday Night Football. It's at home. It's our only home prime time. I don't really count Thanksgiving because we always get Thanksgiving. Obviously. So that one's gonna be fun too. Green Bay. I didn't want an NFC North opponent, but we haven't played Green Bay in a few years, so that'll be fun.
it's
And we
been
should be.
it's been all Bears and Vikings except
Yeah.
for Houston, the
The,
COVID year when we couldn't go. It's been all Vikings Bears for like the
and then the
last.
Bills last year.
Yeah, sorry, I completely went
So
past
yeah,
that, but yes, I'm
yeah.
saying like
So
I feel like ever since I've had my season tickets, this will be my 7th year coming up. They've not
yeah.
played Green Bay once on Thanksgiving,
I don't
so
remember the last time.
it had been.
It's been a minute. So I'm definitely it's gonna be a fun game. We should get back on track of winning our Thanksgiving game.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
that's
So
another thing they haven't done since I got season tickets. They have lost
yeah,
every Thanksgiving game since I got my season tickets.
the last Thanksgiving win I seen was when we beat the Vikings and we took the division lead. Do you
Yep,
remember that
yep.
Darius Slay
Oh
interception?
yeah,
Yep, and then we hit the game-winning field goal or whatever. Yeah, that's the last one I remember. So, or we hit the field goal, then got the pick. I can't remember
nah,
which
it
order
was
was
it
in.
was 10 tied 10-10. We got a pick and then kicked the field goal to.
Field goal. Okay, yeah, that's what it was. So, yeah, so we should get back on track there, and then our other two prime times is on the road. Obviously, we just talked about the Chiefs game, and then so there's really only one more, and that's Thursday night football against the Packers. Um, I like that game because it's early. We're going to Lambeau. What is it like?
It's
Week 4?
October. No, it's September because it's Thursday. Yeah, it's week 4. It's like September 28th or 29th, something like that. Um,
Yeah,
it's yeah, September 28th, Thursday. So, it's nice to get that. I mean, the Lions only have one cold weather game. That's it. There's only one time they're going to be outdoors, where it's going to be
hmm
cold outside. So that's really nice. Um, and then yeah, I mean,
man, that's real nice.
because even though I don't think it's as effective as most people think, but it's still nice to only have one game outside in the cold. Um,
Yeah,
and then
it
yeah,
is.
I mean, and then yeah, having so we go from 0 primetime games last year, unless you count
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. I know we got flexed, but to start the year
Yeah,
0
throughout the
to
year.
this year we got 4. We got week 1, 4, 8, and then 16 or 17
Yeah.
now.
hmm
Sorry, it's second to last game used to be it being week 16. Week
hmm
17 against the Cowboys on Saturday night. That's technically a Monday night football, but it's on a Saturday. Um,
Yeah, that's confusing thing. It's funny because they'll say because it's kind of hard to say, in abbreviations, SNF, Saturday Night Football, considering that's Sunday Night Football. So they'd say, let's just call it Monday Night
yeah,
Football and it's
I
on
know.
Saturday.
It's
So it
weird.
throws you off. It's like, wait a minute. So did we get Monday or not? No, Saturday night.
So
Whatever.
but I am with you too, though. I was hoping for one more prime
Oh,
time.
that's Dallas. I forgot about that game.
Yeah,
That's the game I didn't mention.
yeah.
Yeah, that game that would be a fun one too. Going to Dallas prime time. We haven't beat Dallas in years. It's been a long time since we beat Dallas.
Was
so-
it the time that Calvin had the 329 yards? Was that the last time we beat
Yep.
the Cowboys? Wow,
Yep.
that's
It's
sad.
been a long time.
I hate the Cowboys, man. I hate
And we
the
should have beat
Cowboys.
them. We should have beat them
In
in
the
the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Don't get me started. Don't get me
Yeah, we
started.
can't talk about that game.
But it's a nice jump going from 0 to 4. I do
Yeah.
wish they had another one at Ford Field, but I really do think that the Broncos game will be.
They could get flexed.
Even if it's not flexed like Sunday night, I could see it being like the
Mhm.
4:25 game, which
Yeah.
in December almost feels like a night game because it gets dark at 5
Mhm.
p.m. anyway. So,
Yeah. Yeah, that would be fun.
I hope that. But regardless, I mean, initial reaction was just, man, they got a lot of primetime games this year, and it's only going to
And
go up.
yeah, and we got a little respect, which is nice to see. But here's the thing: is also the way it's the schedule set up. So away and home games, not too many consecutive away games. We start away obviously, and then we get 2 home games, go on the road against the Packers, then we're home against the Panthers, then 2 away games, then we have a Monday Night Football home game, and then we go into our bye week. Which, by the way, I'm happy about the bye week. We finally got a
Yes.
good bye week.
It's
We
been
always
like
get them way too early.
Yeah, it's been like week 5 the last 3 years or something like
Yeah.
that. 4 years it's been week
Finally
5.
get it in the middle. Yeah, 9 is perfect. I'm like, I can't even ask for a better bye week. And then we come off that bye week, we go on the road, and then we're home for 2 games against the Bears and Packers, which obviously is Thanksgiving for us. And then 2 away games against the Saints and Bears. Come home against the Broncos. Go on the road for 2 more games against the Vikings, Cowboys, and then finish at home against the Vikings. And I like that because you know the most we're going to be on the road consecutively is 2 games.
Yep.
And then we'll have a lot of stretches where 2 home games. So it's pretty even, you know. It's not like crazy where we're having all these away games, you know, in consecutive like 3 here and then get 1 home game, then 2 more. That would be insane.
I was worried with having 9 away games and 8 home games that we'd have maybe 3 away games in a row or something like that, or no back-to-back home games. And I think the way they laid the schedule out was perfect, and it works.
It's pretty fair.
Yeah, it does.
The only thing,
go ahead. I was gonna.
So there is one thing I'm not a huge fan of with the schedule, and it's because it's late in the year. If it is early in the year, I wouldn't be as mad. So late in the year, so we play. This isn't not really for the Packers. We play them week 4 and week 12. Good, that's a good stretch. Fine.
Yep.
And then we play the Bears week 11, and then we play them week 14, and this is later in the season, obviously.
Yep.
And then we play the Vikings week 16 and week 18.
I hated that. That's the only thing I did not like is the Viking. Like the Bears one still doesn't bother me that much. At least you have 2 games
Bears
between.
Isn't too bad, yeah, because it's what week. Yeah, 2 games between instead of 1 game.
But
it's just like you got to play your NFC North rival twice in a matter of
the last
2 or
3
3
weeks.
games is tough. Yeah. Especially if the Vikings won. Like the Bears, we should still do our thing, but even that, they're going to probably play us tough, especially later in the season. Teams, well, they should have got better. You know, most teams get better later in the season. So I'm like, that's one thing I was like, man, that's tough. I mean, it's going to be tough for them too, but I don't think I haven't looked at this schedule, but I don't think they play 2 NFC North rivals within like 3 weeks of each other in the second half of the season. So we do.
Yeah, I didn't like that. The only other thing besides that too I didn't like is the fact that even though I think they space things out pretty well, is after Thanksgiving 4 of the next 5 games are on the road. That's the only thing I don't like.
Look at that.
But it also doesn't bother me that much. I'm just
let's check that out real quick. So you said after Thanksgiving?
Yeah, they go at New Orleans, then at Chicago, then they play the Broncos at home, and then they're back on the road against the Vikings in Dallas.
Man, yeah, that is tough. I didn't even realize that. Man, that does kind of suck.
I mean,
but the opponents aren't too bad, you know.
I was gonna say
the Saints, the Bears, the Vikings, and the Cowboys. I mean,
the Saints and Bears don't scare me.
Bad.
The Vikings,
no, those 2 games we should be fine at.
Yeah, the Vikings don't scare me, but they are good, and it's on the road, and then the Cowboys are a good team. So that's a tough stretch. But besides
the Cowboys one would probably be the toughest, you know.
But what I do love is 3 of the first 5 at home. I mean, that's what I'm pumped about. And then
can get off to a hot start pretty quickly.
And then we're gonna do our way too early game by game predictions, but then to have, you know, the Buccaneers, which I don't think they're very good.
I think they're gonna have a bad season. You know, I mean, they still have some guys on that team that I think are pretty good, but it's just.
But they were bad enough last year.
Yeah, I think they're gonna probably have a top 5 pick. You know.
Yeah, I mean Todd Bowles is not a coach. I don't think a good head coach.
No, yeah, he showed last year that he just. I wanted him to get a second chance. He got a second chance, blew it. Yeah. You know, last year I was like, okay, maybe he's just not a good coach.
And
because they fell off hard.
Yeah.
I know Brady got old and all this happened, but man, they should not have fell off.
It's still Tom Brady, and I know they made the playoffs, but they backed in as win a bad division. And when you lose Tom Brady, you're not only losing the player who, again, he's old, he's not as good. I mean, he's not a top 10 quarterback anymore. I mean, maybe not even top half. But you're also losing the leadership. I mean, players didn't like Baker Mayfield, I don't think, in Cleveland. And maybe that's not entirely true, or maybe it's only a very small group, but still, I think they're going to fall off hard. And what I'm saying is that they have 3 of the first 5 at home. They go on the road to play the Buccaneers, and then they go on the road to play the Ravens after that, who I honestly don't think they're a very great team either, to be honest. I mean, Lamar, when he's in, they're good. I don't want to over.
I like so to me the roster is always pretty talented, but it's like last year, maybe it was because they didn't have Lamar. I think they played worse than I thought they would. I'm like, they have guys in that roster that are good. It's just and I think John Harbaugh's a pretty good coach, but maybe because Lamar wasn't in, but that game actually kind of, I don't know if it worries me a little bit, just because it's in
It's
Baltimore.
in Baltimore. I mean, like when we do our predictions, I'll spoil that one pick. I'm gonna pick the Lions to lose that game, but it would not
Yeah,
surprise me in the slightest if they won
me too. Yeah,
because I just
like they're not gonna outmatch us. Like I honestly, I'll probably come to that when we come to that game. I'll probably feel good about it. You know what I mean? But like you said, if you lose, it's you're on the road in Baltimore. I mean, that is a tough place to play.
yeah.
So,
So,
but
um,
yeah,
I mean, I was gonna say we can go through the three most we're excited about. I think we kind of hit on two of our three each, which was the
yeah.
Chiefs and the Raiders. If you had to pick a third, like the third game you're most excited about, what would that be?
Hmm. It has to be my favorite game of the year, which is Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Just because it's my favorite game of the year.
That's exactly where I was going to. Just because it's
Yeah.
fun and
Thanksgiving's different.
the
It's
tradition.
weird
It is.
because it's only 30 minutes earlier than normal
I
kickoff.
know.
But it's just different, because it's Thanksgiving, man.
There's
It's
something
just the
knowing about
feeling.
it's everyone in the world's watching it, or at least the country is watching it, and that it's like the only game on. I mean,
Yeah.
I think it also means a lot too when the Lions usually don't have any primetime games. Maybe this year it won't feel as special because they're going to have four other games where they're going to be in the spotlight. But still,
And I
that
just
was
think
going to be my pick too. So it's
yeah, I just think the tradition of it, because as much as fans in the NFL want to try to take that game away from us, they literally
they're
can't.
not.
And so that's
I mean,
awesome.
and the Lions could be if the Lions were playing the Panthers, the Falcons, the whoever it was, it would still be my favorite game probably or my
Yeah,
third favorite game. So,
just because of the day, really.
yep.
It's a Thanksgiving game. So, yep, me too.
All right. Do you want to do game by game predictions, or do you have
Let's
anything
do
else
it.
you want to talk about before we jump into that?
Hmm. Oh yeah. Actually, there is one thing I want to talk about, and it's the Quentin Williams stuff. Like, it's nothing really, but like, it's just like hopes, I guess.
Yeah.
Because they're not agreeing on a contract, and a lot of Lions fans, of course, including me, would love to trade
Could
for
you
him. And
imagine?
I think our roster's in a position where we can be aggressive, and
Yeah.
make a trade like that. Trade a bunch of picks and go get this guy and pay him because we have. Think about it. We do have cap, and they've been so smart with the cap. Like you reset the tight end contract instead of paying Hawk 13 million. You draft a rookie, and instead of paying Swift, we don't really know what his market would have been.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of paying him, you reset that contract. Even though running back contracts ain't great, I get that.
Yeah.
But so I just think this is a position we would pay because it's a big position, and
Well, and
he's obviously one of the best in the league.
oh yeah.
And I know a lot of fans have told me, well, the Jets would be insane to trade him, which is true. They're trying to win now too. But if you can't agree to a contract and he's not happy, and you're just like, you know what, we're not going to pay him what he wants. We're just gonna move on. We'll be all right. If they do that, I do think that'd be dumb because obviously he's a special player. But if they do that, the Lions should jump on it. And we're in a position to make that move. I mean, I posted something. What about we give him? We basically give him a whole draft, but in 2 years' time. We give him a first, a third, I think, a fifth, and a seventh this year, second, fourth, and sixth next year. Over 2 years, you get a whole draft worth of picks. So it might cost maybe, I don't know if it costs more or what, but I don't know. You don't really know.
It's hard for a D tackle. Like you kind of know the quarterback. Like if it's for a quarterback, you kind of know what you're trading or something like that. But for a
you don't see these guys get moved like
uh,
that. And he's one of the best, and he would be so great. And you got to pay him a ton of money, which I think we could do.
we could easily do.
So
it's just gonna
yeah.
be if
I mean,
we pull the trigger or not.
If you put him there, bro, if you put him on our defensive line, to me, this year would be a top 3 defensive line.
Oh, 100%.
Easily. Him and Hutchinson, how do you account for those guys, bro?
Yeah, I mean,
those
you're
are
not
just
gonna be
2
able
of the
to
guys
stop.
that we have. Yeah, Houston is going to eat. McNeil even is going to eat.
You can't double team
Pascal will
both
even
of them,
eat.
and
Nope.
unless
Too
you
many
keep
guys.
a tight end in, and then it's still then a receiver's not going out, and that's another target that you're not going to have going out. I mean,
it would be insane, bro. Our defense would definitely that would boost us up, man. That would be our defense. I think it's going to get there, but that would just
yeah, that'd be
get there
insane.
faster. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's more of a hope or a dream, but I mean that's the fun point of talking about it, because you never know. The NFL is crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So who knows? I mean, I would love that to happen though.
I like it. I like it. I'm glad you threw that in there just because
Yeah.
that's something I didn't really think about. So, all right. Well, let's get into our. We'll each just say what we think will happen with the game, and then we can just talk about why we may think that. I mean, if we want to go into description on some of them, we can. If we just kind of want to go through, we'll see. Kind of depends on the game. But right off the bat, Kansas City Chiefs. What are we starting? What are we starting?
Man. So this is a game where we could beat the Chiefs because I mean I think we're going to be a really good, great football team, and I think they obviously the Chiefs they will be, but getting them early in the season, you have a better chance of probably beating them than if you were playing them in Week 15
For sure.
in Arrowhead. So I do think we could possibly beat them, but I'm just going to give them an L to start out.
That's
Because
exactly how I feel, man. I mean,
Yeah,
I think that the Lions could walk away with the win, but it's more than likely
Yeah.
they're not going to. It's more likely they're
yeah,
gonna punch them in the throat a couple times and lose by 3 or 4.
yeah.
And so that's what I'm gonna do for now. I don't want to let me being a Lions fan get
I
into
know.
my head and say, oh, they're gonna win because I do think that they really could. But
And you want to win your first game because you
Oh,
don't want to
yeah.
wait a week. You're like, damn, I want to win this damn game. But I mean, it's week 1. That's why I told people, even if we lose, it's just week 1. It's fine, and they're a
Yep.
great football team. They won the Super Bowl, obviously. So, yeah. So I agree.
so
And our guys are gonna, it's gonna take some. You know how it is. The first couple weeks are kind of like the guys just getting back in the groove with everyone in the league. That's why you don't
Yeah.
see teams really get going until October and stuff, and give them a few games, and a young team especially.
yeah, for sure. So
Yep. Start the season 0-1.
So we each have 0-1 to start the year. So week 2 at home against the Seahawks. The revenge game is what I'm calling this. The Seahawks.
Yeah, they
can
want
suck
revenge.
It, and
If we beat them, if they would have played us later in the year, we would have beat them
Kick
and made the
their
playoffs.
ass.
That kills me.
Yep.
But we cannot. Well, I mean, you can, but I really don't want to start the season 0-2 because Seahawks do have a pretty good team, but
They're pretty good. I mean, it's definitely a game you could lose.
Yeah.
But I think the players are going to have a chip on their shoulder. It's the home opener. The place is going to be rocking. So it's
and I don't think Geno Smith's going to be as good as he was last year.
no. I mean, that dude
You know?
was way better than everyone expected. I think he takes a pretty
Yeah.
big fall.
Yeah.
So
Maybe he can be solid, but not what he was last year.
No.
You know what I mean? I mean, at least golf's done it before.
yeah, Smith
And-
never has in his 10 years he's been
Yeah.
in the league.
Ever. Like, this came out of nowhere. It was we've seen, I mean, obviously this is only for a few games, but we've seen Ryan Fitzpatrick have really great games. And obviously it's not a whole really
Yeah.
season, but I'm sure there was some seasons where he played decent. And so, but, I mean, if Geno does it again, then we can be like, oh, damn, he did it again. Okay, maybe. But golf's done it before, so I don't think it's really comparison. I think golf's better anyway, so. But yeah, I think we do beat the Seahawks. I think we start 1-1,
Yep.
win our home opener, and I think it'll be a tough game. We gotta look out. They got some weapons. They got 3 really talented receivers: DK, JSN, who they just drafted, and then obviously Lockett. And then they got a really talented young running back, and they drafted another young running back, who I'm very very familiar with because he used to play for Michigan. I followed his career. I like him, but the O-line got better, but I think this is going to be a real test for our defense because Chiefs, you're probably going to get a little outmatched just because the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Their offense is ridiculous. Even the best of the best defenses have struggled. So I think this is a real challenge for our defense. Let's see how our D-line stacks against their O-line. I think it's pretty fair. Their O-line's getting better. Our D-line's getting better. I'm not sure there's anybody that can really guard Hutchinson, obviously, or block Hutchinson, I mean. But assuming he continues to get better, of course. But yeah, I'm excited to see our defense versus them and our corners. Who does Cam Sutton match up with and all that. And then I think our offense, their secondary definitely got a lot better. It's going to be talented. They got Witherspoon, which I'm pissed about. I wanted Witherspoon so damn bad, but it's okay. We got Gibbs. We good. And so yeah, their secondary is tough, but their front seven's still work in progress. I think the gap is way bigger between our O line and their D line, and it's not like their D line or their O line versus our D line. I think that's closer, but our O line is definitely there's a bigger gap versus their D line. I think that's going to be probably the key, and I'm excited for that. And I think this is the game Gibbs' first game. We'll see. He might do all right, but I think this is the game he has like 150 plus scrimmage yards.
Yeah.
So I think he goes crazy in this game.
So you got the
and we win
Lions
it.
walking away with the win. Yep, and that's. I mean, it's. I would in no way, at least right now, be picking the Lions to lose this game for so many reasons. So
No, I mean, I am a little worried because we start 0-1, and then man, I don't want to start 0-2. Even though, because I know that thing. There's like they stat out there. Teams that start 0-2 don't typically make the playoffs. Might change now because there's obviously one more game.
yeah,
But even if that happened, I still think we still be okay. But I don't want to start 0-2, and I don't think we will.
I don't think
I think
we will
we
either.
start
I think
1-1.
it's going to be 1-1. So. So week 3, staying at home against the Falcons. The Falcons, I think, are slightly improved, but they have a really young team. Ritter's not, proven at all, and I think the Lions just are a much better matchup compared to them. And I think the Lions. I think this will be one of those games Lions win. I don't want to say handedly, but pretty significant. Like the fourth quarter,
Yeah.
we're not really worried type of deal.
Yeah, the Falcons definitely improved. They added some pieces on defense. They're going to be better defensively. Offensive line is continuing to get better, especially I like the guards. But and then they obviously got Bijan, and then they got Kyle Pitts, and they got Drake London. So they got some nice little weapons for real. But Desmond's the key. And this early in the season, I think our defense is going to be too tough for him.
Yeah.
Honestly, which is nice to say, and I hope I'm right. You know what I mean? I think they will though. I think they'll be pretty good, and especially in this game. So I think we can do some nice things. I mean, think about it. You can put Cam on Drake. And I really feel confident in Cam's ability, and I think our offense is just going to be too much for their defense. So even though it's improved, I think the halftime score will be close, 17-17, something like that. But I think we pull away in the third quarter, and we're comfortable in the fourth, and we win pretty decent. Wouldn't be surprised if we won like by 2 scores, at least. So I do have us starting the season 2-1 too.
2-1 each so far. Week 4 heading to Lambeau for Thursday night football. I don't think the Packers are a team we should worry about anymore. I just don't. I mean, they're I don't want to say they're bad, but I'm just saying like when you used to see the Packers on the schedule, especially away, it's like, well, that's probably a loss, and I feel like that's changing now. Where I think they're going to start 3-1. I mean. I'm confident that they're going to go into Lambeau and win, especially early in the year. I feel like the Packers always struggle the first month of the year.
They always do. And Love is going to be, even if he turns out to be really good, there's going to be growing pains. This season, a lot of Packers fans I know think they're going to be horrible, like top 5 horrible. I don't know about that. I
still think the
they're going to start
defense
slow.
is good enough to
Yeah.
not
I think they're
allow
going to
that.
start slow, but finish strong. And they could end up still winning around 7, maybe 8 games. And I kind of hope that because I want Green Bay not to make playoffs, but also to not get a top-tier pick.
True. That's true.
Being in the middle would be beautiful,
Like a solid
And let's
7
see what
and
Matt
10 or
LaFleur-
something.
Right. Let's see what Matt LaFleur can do. He's never done this without Aaron Rodgers. See if he's truly a good coach. And they have talent, but their defensive coordinator sucks. To me.
He's terrible.
They have, he's horrible. And they take forever if they take that long to get started, because the last 2 years I feel like they didn't get good until the second half defensively, and they do that. They're going to be in a lot of trouble. So,
What do you got?
I mean they have some talent, but I got us taking a nice W.
All right, so we're each
We're
at
going-
3-1 right now.
Yeah, we're going early in the season, prime time in Lambeau. It's not going to be that cold. Even if it was, I still think we'd win.
Agree. So going back to Ford Field 3-1 against the Panthers.
Talk about a revenge game.
Yeah, no kidding. I was gonna say this is another one of those games. Part of me thinks it could be more improved. The other part of me thinks they're not going to be very good still. I mean, besides their quarterback position, they haven't really upgraded much. I mean, they downgraded at receiver. And besides that, like,
And
what
at
else?
running back.
Yeah, and at running back. And what else did they really do besides? I mean, they traded so much
No.
to go up and get Bryce Young.
Yeah.
It's one of those games.
He's only a rookie.
Exactly. So it's one of those games again. I just don't see the worst team on the road beating us. So I have the
No.
Lions going 4-1 to start. What's your thought?
I do too, and I like some of their pieces on defense, and I like Bryce, and their O line's getting better, but Bryce Young is a rookie still. These are still rookie, and new coaching staff and all that. So they're gonna have growing pains, and it's gonna be tough to come in because we're gonna be one of the better teams in the league, I believe, and it's gonna be tough to come in our house and just beat us. And I get they whooped our ass last year, but that was last year.
Yep.
You know, we had a bad game. That ain't gonna happen again. You know, hopefully we'll be a better team against the run, and they're not gonna do that again. They're not. That was, I don't like saying fluky, but that was like it just punched us in the mouth. And we it's hard to win that many games in a row or to be that consistent. You're gonna have a really bad game. Every team does. So, but yeah, I think we win.
Yep. All right, then heading to the road for Week 6. Right now we're both at 4-1. Heading on the road Week 6 in Tampa. I will personally be there for this game.
I plan to be too.
All right, I love it. So we talked about this before the podcast a little bit, or maybe it was during it. I can't even remember at this point. But I mean, the Todd Bowles is a coach. I just don't.
Yes.
He's just not. He's not it. I know
No, he's
Tom
not a good
Brady
coach.
wasn't very good last year, but you're the leadership you're going to get from him, and he's still the GOAT. That you're taking a pretty huge step back now with the coach. It's still not very good. I just again, it's I don't think the Buccaneers are going to be good. I think they'll be a top 10 pick next year, and I have the Lions going in and winning on the road and starting at 5-1.
I feel very comfortable about this game, despite there is some talent on both sides, but I still feel very comfortable. I don't like the coaching staff. They need to rework some things. Obviously, quarterback. You know, Baker's going to struggle versus us. Their O-line got older. Remember, they lost Smith. He got older. So now they still have, obviously, Tristan, who's really good. But, yeah, I think our D-line will put some pressure on them, and Baker's going to throw a couple picks and maybe 1 pick six. So
All right, I
and
like
we
that
win.
prediction. So, all right, now Week 7. So we're both at 5-1 right now. Week 7, heading to Baltimore. This is one of those games. If it's on a neutral field, I think I'd pick the Lions to win. Personally.
Yeah, it's close in like the roster wise. You compare the rosters and they've done a good job, but last year maybe because Lamar was hurt, they were a little disappointing. But they did have some injuries, so it happens. But yeah, I agree. If they were coming to Detroit, I think we might even be favored.
Yes, I think so too. But since it's going to Baltimore, and I feel like things never go well when we're on the road there, I have the Lions taking a loss here and falling to 5-2.
Me too. You got to respect what they are as an organization, as a coaching staff. You know, it's a tough place to play. And, you know, I mean, you can't win every game, and you're going to drop one of these games. So
Yep.
Baltimore makes sense to drop that game. You couldn't
Definitely.
even be too mad at it because, yeah, Baltimore's tough.
All right, now we're heading back home. Monday Night Football, a 5-2 football team. Ford Field's going to be rocking.
Ford Field's going to be going insane.
And I don't think the Raiders are that good. I don't think Josh McDaniels is a good coach. I don't think Jimmy Garoppolo is a very good quarterback. They do have some pieces. You know, I mean, Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. They have some nice pieces around, but I just they're not going to be able to hear anything. Place is going to be jumping, and I just don't think they're going to have a chance.
And remember, you said this is week 8, right? Remember, this would be Jamal's second game back.
Yep.
His first game back, okay, he probably won't go crazy. Monday Night Football, second game back, I just don't think their secondary is going to be able to keep up.
No.
Jameson's going to have a big game, I feel like. Actually, all of our receivers, even Laporta, we're going to stress them out. Monday Night Football, I would not be surprised if he goes nuts. You know, so, yeah.
So
I got us winning too.
So we have both of us have had the same predictions so far going into the bye week, which by the way is the perfect bye week finally. Beautiful bye week spot right in the middle. Both of us having the Lions going at 6-2 to the bye week, and then they come out and play Week 10 at LA against the Chargers. This one's a semi tough one, but have you seen their 4 games before they play the Lions?
Mm-mm.
It's brutal. I can't remember exactly. It's like 3 of the 4 are prime time against the Chiefs, the Bengals, and it's rough. And so,
Damn.
I'll have to add one more thing about the Chargers too. They, outside of their starters, I don't think they have much depth at all, and depth's a pretty key piece. And so as of right now, again, this is early on, I have the Lions going in and winning in LA.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are talented. I'm always high on Chargers, and I don't really like their coach, but I still feel like they have so much talent. that they'll be a pretty
Yep.
good football team.
And hey, we can disagree
And
on picks. That's the whole point of us doing this separately.
right,
So if
this will
you,
be our first. This will be our first one. But just because I'm like, we can't win every game, and it's gonna be tough in LA. So I do think we lose a close one, maybe a field goal or something.
yep. All right. So you have them at 6-3. I have them at 7-2, coming back home against the poor old Bears, and this one shouldn't really be up for discussion. I got the Lions killing the Bears.
Bears, other fans are insane. There's some cool ones. I know some cool ones, but there's some like
I don't.
what? But their defense is like their D line is not good. They drafted some interior that will help, but there's no pass rush really to
I
me.
was gonna say the
I don't
guys they
see the pass rush.
picked, I thought were more run stuffers than anything.
No, yeah, there's no pass rushers. Linebackers are they're solid. Secondary is probably above average, solid. They got some guys that are solid, but I just don't feel like they're going to be able to keep up with their offense. I really don't. And then their offense, yeah, you contain Justin Fields. Yeah, they got DJ Moore. I trust Cam. I don't think the other receivers are that good at all. They're getting a lot of hype. Like, I don't think Mooney's good. I definitely don't think Claypool's good. I mean, maybe Mooney can be a good, solid number 2, but he definitely had way too much hype going last year. People were calling him better than Amon-Ra, which was nuts. And I'm glad we don't even consider that now. But yeah, I feel like, and their O-line, yeah, I like their tackle duel, but it's still not enough. We're still gonna.
Yeah.
Our D-line, I feel very comfortable in that game too. So all around, I just think we outmatched them, and we're just gonna beat them.
I just like that last year. I'll just throw this out there. Last year, Justin Fields has no one to throw to, and then they get one guy who he's very good. He's
DJ Moore's good.
wide receiver 1, but he's not
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
he's not like a top 10 receiver. And they get this one guy, and all of a sudden he goes, he has no one to throw to. We have the worst receiving core in the league. We got a top 5 group now. It's like
I know.
so.
I know.
You have no excuses for your bum ass quarterback to play like shit this year.
Because DJ Moore, he's borderline, but it's hard because like last year, I know he has had some shitty quarterbacks, but he's not elite or anything. He's in the same tier of like just on the outside type of guys. Maybe if it depends who you ask, but Amon-Ra is close there, borderline 10, maybe he's definitely top 15 in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that's where they both fall to me. But yeah, DJ Moore is not. It's not like they just traded for Devontae Adams. And even if they did, guys, Mooney was not good last year. Claypool definitely wasn't good last year.
Claypool was the worst trade of the year, I think.
Oh my!
32?
How do you give up the 32, bro? I know my Steelers buddy was happy as hell. I was like, bro, yeah, that was terrible. I don't know what the GM was thinking. That was a terrible, terrible trade. So
yep.
But yeah, I think
I just
that's
want
a
to
W.
throw that out there, and so yeah, I have a W
Yeah.
there as well. So I have.
And yeah, wait, real quick, that Fields hype is insane. People are saying he's the best based off what?
And I think that's why
he didn't even throw 3,000 yards.
I think that's why I get so annoyed because people are hyping him up like he's Michael Vick with the arm of Joe Montana. It's and I think that's why I get so annoyed. It's like, holy crap, guys! This dude didn't even play good last year. He just had a couple big runs.
Like, he has talent, but he has a lot of work to do as a thrower.
That he did last year that impressed people was running. There's not a single time that he threw the ball where people were like, oh, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm worried here. We're talking about Lions here. I need to stop that because I'm going out.
Before we start cooking on the Bears.
No kidding. Okay, so that is what? Was that the 10th game? Because that was week 11. Yes. So I have an 82. You have 7-3. Going home against the Packers on Thanksgiving. Lions beat them at this point 4 straight times. Let's make it 5.
Let's make it 5, and I agree with that. We are taking back our Thanksgiving, bro. I'm tired of losing on Thanksgiving. So we're going to win, and we're going to come home and eat a lot of good food.
Yes, sir. So now we got 9-2 and 8-3. Things are looking great. At the Saints, I don't think the Saints are going to be that good, but they do have some nice pieces. And New Orleans is a very tough place to play. The Lions are going to win every game. I have them at 9-2 right now. I'm going to have them drop this one and go to 9-3.
Okay, this one's tough because you're going to New Orleans, right? New Orleans is not an easy place to play. They have some pieces. This could be one of those tough games, and I think I have them dropping this game too.
All right, so we're both going to have a drop in New Orleans, and I mean, I truly think the Lions are a much better team. I just know they're not going to win all these games in a row like I have going on, and the Saints. It's just a tough place. So that's
Yeah.
why I had picked. So I have 9-3 now. You have me 8-4 at
Yep.
Chicago. That one I'm going back with a dub. I do think the
W.
Bears in a year or two could be very good, but
Yeah, no,
they're
the
still
Bears
far out.
they're headed the right direction. They're probably a year away from being playoff team. That defense needs a lot of work, and they
They
didn't
do.
get no Aiden Hutchinson. You know what I
No.
mean? So they definitely need a lot of work, and we'll see how their defense, if it gets better, of course. But they're still, to me, a year away.
I
You
don't. I
know,
just don't want to like completely rip on them because I do think their future is in a nice spot.
no, they're
But
headed they're headed in the right direction for sure.
for
For
sure.
sure.
So, but I don't think this year's their year at all, and so I have them
No.
going to 10-3. You're at 9-4, coming back home against the Broncos. Every single time the Lions have been decent, I have them going undefeated at Ford Field, and it just never happens. And I know it's not going to happen. I
Mhm.
shouldn't say I know, but This is the one game I have circled for them to lose at home.
Mm.
So I'm going to have them drop to 10-4 after losing to the Broncos. The Broncos have a really good defense. They do.
Mhm.
Their defense is good. So 10-4.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. It is good. But our offense is gonna be too much for them. I'm gonna have
I
us
like it.
cooking them.
I like it.
Russ, you ain't cooking. We cooking. We ain't losing no home games this year. I think I have us going undefeated at home, don't I?
That's fine. And I wanted to. I just like based on how
Yeah.
I've done things in the past, back in 2014,
Yeah.
2016, 2011, things like that. I always like
No,
once they
yeah.
were good. I was always like, oh, they're gonna go undefeated
Broncos,
at home, and
they're gonna be better, bro. They're gonna be
they
a
are.
lot better. This could be
Sean
a
Payton's
close,
the
tough
coach.
game. Oh yeah, you already know. Yeah, he's a great coach. You already know they're gonna be a lot better. I think Russ gonna bounce back. They're gonna have a good year, but I think it's a close game. Lions pull it out though.
All right, so we're both back at 10-4 now. So last three games we had a Minneapolis against the Vikings. I said a while ago I don't think the Vikings are going to be like I think that they're at the tail end of their window. They're
Mhm.
older now. They just got rid of, not that they were superstars last year, but they're getting rid of Cook. They just got rid of Smith,
Yeah.
and
Their defense is cooked.
and so now you really just have to look at Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, and Kirk Cousins, and I
Yeah.
don't think that's enough to have them pull out a team against
Like
the Lions.
they have a great, their offense is gonna be great, but they need to rebuild, man. They need to
to.
rebuild
They need to get rid of
because
Kirk.
the other three
and-
teams already have or are doing it, and so in a year or two, those three teams are gonna be the teams fighting for the division.
Yep.
And the Vikings are kind of gonna be stuck. You don't want to get stuck.
Exactly.
We've been stuck before, and that was never good. So, yeah, I agree. Yeah, their offense is gonna be great, but I think our defense is gonna be good enough.
And I
They're not
think-
gonna score in every possession.
Yeah, and I think our offense compared to their defense is so much better than their.
There's a bigger
offense
gap. Yeah,
to our
exactly.
defense.
Bigger gap. Yep, exactly. My exact thought. So,
So I have the Lions
Yep.
pulling this one out.
me too.
And I could see the Vikings being good this year, but this is I think their last chance to do something. After this
Yeah.
year, I think they're done. So,
Yeah.
but we both have them going to 11-4. Now we are heading to Dallas Saturday night, technically Monday night.
Man.
I guess vice versa. It's technically Saturday, but it's a Monday night football. Regardless, though, going to Dallas. Dallas has a really good team. The Lions have not had a lot of luck there. I hate the Cowboys with every bone in my body, but I just have to give them a loss here.
Same. It's a loss
it
for me,
hurts.
too.
It hurts, but I
It's
have
tough,
to do it.
man. I don't want us to beat. Not that we can't beat Dallas. We can. It sucks we're on the road, and we won a couple. You can't win every game, right?
Exactly.
And we won a lot, up to this point. So it's like you're gonna drop one of these games. It'd probably be close though. They win
Yep.
by a field goal or something. A lot of these losses are gonna probably be close. So yeah, loss for me too.
So we both have them at 11-5, and then going into Ford Field to end the year. I think the Lions are going to be playing their starters because they're going to be trying to get the 2 seed if they can win and something else happens. So I think they're going to play their starters, let's say, hypothetically, and I think that they're going to win.
Yep, I got us sweeping.
Yep.
The whole division swept. Get the brooms out. They all swept. Swept
6-0
the fuck
in the
out them.
division. I love it. And that
Yep.
means that we are both having the Lions go 12-5 this year, which would be awesome.
Man, oh my goodness.
Where would that
We
leave
would
us
have too much
seeding?
fun with that.
Dude, and then a home playoff game at Ford Field. Oh,
Yeah,
you better believe it. So
that would be a lot of fun. But that's our early predictions. And we'll do more. We should do another one before training camp, and then maybe one at the near
One
the end of
more
training camp
like maybe right after the third preseason game before the week 1 game. We
before the
can
season. Yeah. So
do
we'll do it
something.
2 more times maybe, and yeah, that'll be a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's time to see if our predictions change. It probably won't change too much unless something crazy happens,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
But
I was
maybe
gonna
a
say,
little bit.
maybe like a major injury or something against another team happens
Yeah.
where someone else picks up someone big. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So-
So yep, that's our predictions
all
for
right,
today,
do
guys.
you have any other thing you want to talk about now? Because I think we wrapped up the schedule. We got the Quinn Williams information out of the way. This is kind of the dead spot, unfortunately, for the
Yeah.
off season. There's not a whole lot going on, so
Right. We'll get some. Maybe we'll do some like predictions in the future, like individual player predictions
Yep.
soon. And then once camp comes around, like especially training camp, we can talk about what's going on there, who's
training
hot.
camp
Training camp's always fun.
battles, I mean, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. So
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. That I love training camp preseason because of the depth charts and the
yeah,
depth
it's so much
battles.
fun.
It's so much fun. Yeah. So yeah, but that's all I got.
all right. Well, we'll be back another day. For now, go Lions, and that's it.